When did you find out
We got hurt.
that you were going to get that mini feud with Ric Flair and become NWA World Champion?
Rhodes didn't want to, I'm sure. Rhodes was an asshole.
Was he the booker around
Oh
that
yeah,
time?
he was. Shit, he's the one that killed the territory. Well, Crockett sold the territory, went out of business because of Dusty Rhodes. I'm serious, because of Dusty Rhodes. If he would have kept doing what he was doing, that his dad had established that territory, that would have never happened. The territory still be going today. That
Was it Dusty that wanted to bring it to New York and bring it to all the Detroit?
Dusty had dreams of Grandeur or whatever, and the jets. That's what broke him. Yeah, shit's expensive. You think Vince would have jets? No, it's not feasible. As money-wise, it's a waste. It's cheaper and faster and safer and less liability to go commercial.
So you think Dusty was overrated as a booker?
Oh
for the
yeah.
most part?
Oh shit. Yeah, way overrated. And anybody could have done that job the way he did it. 30 guys on the card. You know, all kinds of gimmick matches, and I mean, you name it. So you didn't know who drew a house. You know, you got 3 main events, and you got chain match, the belt match, the cowbell match, and then you got, you know, I mean, it's just too much. How do you follow? You got to follow that. So he was throwing his kitchen sink in the ring and everything. I mean, just, it's too much.
Did you ever wrestle him in singles matches?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, when I left, he was such a jealous guy. God bless his soul. He's maybe it was just the way he liked to do business, but you know, I remember the Rock and Roll Express. They were so over that Dusty even put himself in 6-man with them. He would book the Rock and Roll Express. Instead of the big town, he'd get a smaller town. And they would outdraw him. He couldn't, he was, I know, I was there. And if you ever meet the Rock and Roll Express or talk to him, ask him.
I've actually heard Ricky Morton's say a version of that story before.
He couldn't stand it. I mean, I saw it. And I used to say to myself, man, why don't you put these guys in the big towns? This is where the money, they outdraw everybody. Why not? You know, and they kept on drawing, and they kept on. They were so hot, man. They came in the dressing room one night, their clothes ripped off. I saw this in my own eyes. Their earring, out of their ears, they were bleeding. It was.
But he kept.
I mean, the girls were so over.
Yeah.
They were so over with the girls that it was unbelievable. They looked like rock stars, and they were good-looking kids, and they good workers, and but Dusty had to have, you know, control. Dusty booked me. No title matches the whole 2 months. He didn't want me to defend the title. Right?
So
he put all kinds of shit in the wheels, meant to block this, block that, block this, block that. I ain't stupid. Which I didn't care, you know, and never had a title match. And I was over, and he didn't like it, because I was a babyface. I beat all the 4 horsemen, okay? I did.
Non-title matches?
Non-title matches. And so I beat all 4 of them. Well, I beat the shit out of them for about 3 minutes in the ring. You're knocking the shit out of all of them, and then they finally eventually left. You know, I mean, that's pretty strong. You know, when they charge the ring and I'm hitting one, hitting the other, they're going through the ropes and they're coming back, and this went on for like 3 minutes. I got tapes of
I've seen those tapes.
That makes you look pretty damn tough, you know. And so he didn't like that. So what he did is when I came back, I dropped it to Flair. It didn't draw like it should. Do you know why? He took it out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
That was the town. 3 stories. That building would have been packed. It was always packed. They killed that town. After that, Greensboro never was the same. You know, and that's when everything went on the decline. No, he wanted to go to Chicago. He wanted to go to Detroit. All these towns, they lost money. They drew big houses, but the cost, they were losing. Instead of making money, well, anybody can book like that. You know, anybody can book like that. Yo, you made oh yeah, we drew a $300,000 house, whatever the amount, yeah, but we lost 60,000. You know, and then he took it to they had the screen in Greensboro. It should have been the fight there, and the screen somewhere else in Atlanta, and everything. That would have, because it was the Mid-Atlantic. It belonged there. It didn't belong
Right.
anywhere else, Chicago, or, you know, you were taking, it's like taking your ball club out of, and taking it somewhere else.
Was it Dusty that came up with the Tower of Doom match?
That I don't know. Probably.
That was a pretty dangerous looking.
Oh, Lord. It was, yeah. And then the bashes, you know, and it was very, I know because a friend of mine was Sandy Scott. He was running towns for me. And he told me quite a few times. He said, man, we bring a lot of money to the office, but we're in a hole, you know, because of the expense. Setting up towers, setting up this and that, and so how good is that? And then Dusty, I saw it coming. I was over like hell in Baltimore. Baltimore, Cleveland, those two towns. I was. And Dusty couldn't stand it. So Dusty concocted this deal. He was going to turn me heel. And that was after I got beat by Flair. And he wanted me to go knock him out in Baltimore at the end of the match. Tap him on the shoulder, he turned around, and Gary Hart was going to pay me $5,000 or something. There was a bounty on Dusty. And he was going to pay me the $5,000 or $10,000, whatever it was. And so I did it. Well, half booed, half cheered, you know.
Because you were so over.
Yeah, but it was not a successful thing. You know, half of the crowd cheered, half booed, and he laid there, you know, oh, they carried him out. They come and helped him out, you know.
Yeah.
And then his deal was he was going to put me partners with this other guy. What was his name? Kind of a Spanish guy. Gary Hart was going to be our manager. And so I got to analyze everything, and I said, I know what Dusty's going to do. He can't stand it. I beat the Four Horsemen. You know, he's not sleeping at night. I'm serious.
Yeah, because he was
so, oh, now he's going to turn me. So now he's going to beat me, Alex Perez.
Okay.
He's going to beat Alex and Gary Hart, all three of us. Superman. He's going to take his cape now and fly off, you know. I figured, well. So right before the TV happened, we were going to go down there, and I got on the airplane, and I walked all the way to the back of the airplane, shook hands with all the guys. I said, guys, y'all take care. I'm out of here, blah, 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 blah. And they thought I was joking. I had my suitcase. I walked in, walked out of the plane, got in my car, and went home. Even the pilots, they waited. They said, the pilots didn't believe it. I was done. That was it. Goodbye. Dusty, I mean, Vince is a genius. He's so far ahead. Because Dusty used to go on TV. I was there. When Vince started WrestleMania and all of that stuff, and every chance Dusty had, not only him, there was quite a few guys would knock Vince. You know, wisecracks about, you know, WWF, you know. And I know it, you know, he did a lot. Dusty did more than anybody else. And eventually, he had to call, I guess, or go to work for him. Well, Vince is a hell of a business guy. If he can make money with you, he ain't going to, you know, turn you down. But he's going to get to you. He put polka dots on his ass. That's when I knew Dusty Rhodes was broke. When he put polka dots on him and gave him a black girl in the corner. And here's the American dream, wearing polka dots, the big old fat guy with polka dots. Think about that. That's genius. It's, to me, when I saw that, I went, wow, this is great. You know, I would have never thought of that. Yeah. Most promoters would have told you to go screw yourself, you know. And to me, and Dusty made money, but Vince got his point across, I think.